Shalom, friends. I do love when highly Googled questions like, can Jews get tattoos? Pop up in the Talmud, like an ancient algorithm that's all going to tell us all about our FAQs. Welcome to Slightly Throwback Daf Reactions, Makot 21. Yes, I know we actually just began a whole new tractate, but Makot was really blink your lashes and you'll miss it. And there's still things that I want to talk about, such as tattoos. In Halakha, Jewish law typically understood as a bit of a no-no for Jews, as per Leviticus, known to its good friends as Vayikra, 1928. Leviticus Vayikra is, amongst other things, a running listicle of stuff Jews are and are not supposed to do in Judaism. Now, that's not to say there's not a lot of fake news about tattoos in Judaism out there. It is, in fact, a myth, for example, that you cannot be buried in a Jewish cemetery if you have a tattoo on your body. There's no undead bouncer who's like, oh my goodness, not only did you eat shrimp, but you also owned several shirts that were both mixed linen and wool, and you got a tramp stamp in college. Take your coffin and get the fuck out. No. But it was still really fascinating to see how the discussion of tattoos unfolded on this page, and I admit it wasn't what I expected. I should know better by now. On the page, the sages of the Talmud are talking about whether it's actually a crime worthy of lashes in that era if you get a tattoo. Regardless of if it was a deeply personal and meaningful symbolic work of art on your body, or if it was a questionably large back tattoo of a phoenix you got during a midlife crisis, Ben Affleck. So the Mishnah starts off by saying that if you do carve your skin and put ink or dye in it, aka tattooing, you do get lashes. If you just cut the skin or just put dye on it, but not both, you're not liable, thus no lashes. It's got to be a real tattoo. But then Rabbi Shimon ben Yehuda says in the name of Rabbi Shimon something really interesting. A tattoo is only a problem if said tattoo contains the name. When somebody refers to the name in a Jewish context, it usually refers to the all-powerful name of God, which we don't say. So in the Gemara, Rav Acha asks Rav Ashi, wait, is Rabbi Shimon saying that somebody has to use the words, I am the Lord, aka one of God's government names, on their skin for it to be a no-no? But like a beloved dog's paw print, notes so you can remember things memento style, or a classic heart with the word mom in it are fine? Rav Ashi says, actually, it's like this teaching from Bar Kapara. I guess taught in between Bar Kapara's frequent comedic performances. You get lashes only if you tattoo an object of idol worship on yourself. That's the problem, idolatry. No poop emojis for Baal Peor then. Now, I find this convo so interesting because it demonstrates the nuances and complexities in seeking to understand the development of Jewish law by the decision-making process of what exactly needs to be avoided and why. One thing to avoid from many commandments, not just this one, is looking like you're doing something wrong, even if you're not actually doing something wrong, but it looks like it. Which, for example, is why chicken was eventually ruled to be meat in kashrut, because people could see you having your chicken parm, assume that having a cheeseburger was fine, so no chicken parm for us. Don't come at me, I don't make the rules. So what about temporary tattoos? They could look real. What about the practice of putting ashes on a cut to heal it? Certainly not the worst medical advice we've ever encountered in the Talmud, by a long shot. And this question of temporary marks made with ashes brings us to our notorious friend, Rav Bivai bar Abaye. The Gemara notes that Rav Bivai would never put ashes on a boo-boo because someone might think that was a tattoo too. The irony here is, of course, the reason Rav Bivai is notorious was because he put ashes in his eyes in order to see demons, and then he went blind, temporarily. I mean, that is one way to solve this. Nothing looks like a tattoo, or beef, for that matter, if you can't see anything anyway. But Rav Ashi, who honestly has the perfect name for the situation, says, people will be able to tell when ashes are just acting like an ancient band-aid and are not really a tattoo, and BD, it's fine. So, quick takeaways. If you already have tattoos, don't feel like you have to get them lasered off by Shimon Bar Yochai to be a good Jewish person, any more than you have to regurgitate a ham sandwich you ate 16 years ago. No one's going to come to your house and lash you unless you're into that, in which case, mazel tov. And secondly, it's also really good to understand the historical and social context of the development of the law and see how the sages arrive at their decisions. Sometimes discovering the discussion and disagreement around the parameters of behavior itself, that's the part that's really eye-opening. Or it could be, as long as there's nothing in them to gum up the works. Like ashes.